Hey guys, welcome back. So today we're back at the Petersen Automotive Museum to go see the new exhibit for the 25th anniversary of the Fast and Furious collection. So come with me and come check out these cars at the Petersen Automotive Museum. Let's go hit it. So this is one of the original Transformers right here, Bumblebee from the first movie. And from the second movie too. So this one's from Transformers Revenge of the Fallen from the second film. And this one is from one of my favorite movies of all time, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So this car right here was used for the chasing scene between Indy and the gang and the lady from the Russian Soviets. So you can see in the picture right there. And that's one of my favorite Indiana Jones movies. And this car is from Wayne's World. This one's from Twilight, which I only saw the movie a few times. I'm not really into it. And then this is one of the Fast and Furious cars. One of Vin Diesel's personal cars of his collection from his garage that he donated, or not donated, loaned to the Petersen. Pretty cool. And then the Batmobile right here, which some of you already know, or some of you don't know, that one of my good friends, Fireball Tim Lawrence, made the car for the Batmobile movie. And then Christine right here too, one of my buddy's cars. So my buddy that owned Christine, that some of you don't know, that's in the Star Car group, he owns that car, the original Christine car that was one of the stunt cars. So one of those cars is the one that did all the crashing and everything. But yeah, that's one of my good buddies in the Star Car group that I'm in that owns that car, and it's been here since 2015, I guess. But yeah, but we're gonna walk around and look at some more cars upstairs right here. This Aston Martin on my right is an original film car from James Bond, 007. So this one, of the particular James Bond movie it's from, is from No Time to Die, which came out a few years. So you can see the whole car inside is modified when they're doing all the stunts with all the chasing scenes, going around corners and jumping, and when the car's being shot at. So that's the car that did all the scenes for No Time to Die in James Bond movie. The Fast and Furious room. So this is one of the white Supras from Fast and Furious 7, the GTR from Fast and Furious 7 also. And then here's the costumes. So the GTR and the Supra is one of my dream cars that I would love to have one day, you know, as a Fast and Furious replica or anything. And this one is from Fast 10 with Jason Momoa that drives the car. Then Dom's brother, who drives a Mustang from Fast and Furious 9. And then here we got the ramp car from Fast and Furious 6 that did all the stunts for the cars driving up, flipping in midair, getting thrown in midair. So this is the car that was for Shaw that drove it. And then this car, Fast 8, Fast 6, and 6. This one's one of my favorite Chargers right here. So this one did all the stunts. And this one of my other, basically all of them are my favorite cars, all the Fast and Furious cars, because I've been a Fast and Furious fan since like I was 5. And then one of my other dream cars is the Charger from Fast and Furious 7. So this one is like my favorite, even with the slick wheels, the deep dish in there. So this is one that was from Fast and Furious 7 that did the stunts also in the 7th film of the franchise. And then this one, I don't think it's a real Corvette body. I think it's a fiberglass one. So this one's the fiberglass one. So this is the one that did the jump off the cliff of the train bridge. And then Dom's SS Camaro 454 from the 5th film, or not 5th film, my bad, the 4th film. So this one's the 4th film. So this one's the one that looked nice and clean before he sanded down, kind of did like a gray primer or like a matte gray paint. So this one right here, Paul Walker's car right here. And then Zuki's from Too Fast, Too Furious. Then Dom's Mazda RX-7, which is one of my other dream cars, and the green Mitsubishi over there, it's one of my other dream cars. We got Lenny's Nissan right here. And this is one of my favorite cars right here, the Mustang right here from Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. So that one is a different street take, where instead of street racing, it's street drifting. So people are drifting instead of like drag street racing. And then this one right here is one of my other favorite cars of the franchise, the Mitsubishi right here. So that one was also from Tokyo Drift. That is and that was Sean's car. So Sean had the red Mitsubishi before he got the green Mustang from his dad to do the final race battle against DK. And then one of my other dream cars right here, the orange Supra. So this is one of my #1 favorite cars of all time from the first film. So this one was driven by Paul Walker himself. He did most of the stunts in the car himself. And this one is, I think it was part of Paul Walker's collections. I might be wrong on that. I might be forgetting. But this one right here is just one of my favorite cars. One of my dream favorite cars. And I might have forgotten to mention too, I didn't want to forget, this is the 25th anniversary of the Fast and the Furious. So this has been 25 years since the first Fast and Furious movie came out in 2001. So this is basically the celebration of the Fast and Furious franchise, but celebrating the first Fast and Furious movie that started it all. But yeah, it's just one of my favorite movies, and all the cars are my favorite. But if I had to choose one, it would be the orange Supra, which is everyone's most favorite. So now we're gonna go to the vault and check out some more of the other car collections down there. So let's go check them out. So that's one of the cars from, I think, Blade Runner or Back to the Future, I might have forgot. But this car right here is from Magnum PI. So this is one of my other favorite shows, Magnum PI. They made about 8 episodes with starring Tom Selleck. And fun fact, Tom Selleck was supposed to be cast as Indiana Jones, but because he couldn't, he had a contract with CBS, if I remember correctly. So that's when Harrison Ford took the role of Indiana Jones. But they did do an Indiana Jones gag, funny moment in the show, so it kind of made it look like what it looked like for Tom Selleck as Indiana Jones. But Magnum PI is one of my other favorite shows. But the real reason we're down here is, I see him, is because some of you know I'm a Herbie fan. So we came down here to go check up and say hi to Herbie. So let's go over there and see him. He's just right over there. You might see him a little bit. Well, yeah, let's go say hi to Herbie. So there he is. There's Herbie. There's the Jaguar from James Bond, another movie. The Black Beauty from Green Hornet. And then one of my dream cars, the Mach 5 from Speed Racer, which some of you know now that I'm a big, not just a Herbie fan, a Fast and Furious fan, but I'm a Speed Racer fan. So if you saw my last video of me talking about my experience re-watching Speed Racer in IMAX a few weeks ago, it just brought so much childhood back to life of my nostalgic memories seeing Speed Racer in IMAX back in 2008, 18 years ago. So but you could go watch that on YouTube Shorts that I did on that video of me talking about like what the movie meant to me. But yeah, we're gonna go check out some of the movie cars that are around the corner. Oh, I don't want to forget. So this is one of the hot rods from Iron Man 1, Tony Stark's car, and that's the car that he used to paint his Iron Man suit red and gold. To have it that kind of hot rod color, and that's what gave him the idea for that suit, and that's one of my other favorite cars. So let's go check out some of the movie cars right here. So here it is, the Mach 5 right here. So some of you know that this is one of my dream cars. So I've been a Speed Racer fan since I was 2, or no, actually since I was 7. I remember seeing the live action back in 2008, 18 years ago. And this just brings back so many memories, you know, of what Speed Racer. You know, if you haven't seen my other video of me talking about what Speed Racer means to me, you know, of my experience of rewatching Speed Racer in IMAX a week ago for the re-release, you know. And Speed Racer is just one of my favorite movies because not because it's a famous racing car and one of my favorite racing movies is because it's about how Speed Racer is not just determined to become the best driver in the world, but because he doesn't do it without family, and he always fights through the battles with every villain and bullies out there, and his family's always sticking with him to help him along the way during that time. And Speed Racer showing never give up, always help people, and how to be a good character. But this is one of my favorite cars, one of my dream cars to have one day. And yeah, it's just something that makes my day always seeing this car here at the Petersen Automotive Museum. Because my GoPro died, so now my GoPro is giving me problems, so now I gotta go check out, find out why the GoPro's acting up. But right here we have Herbie, one of my favorite cars of all time. So some of you guys have already seen me post a lot of videos and pictures of this car here at the Petersen Automotive Museum, but I've seen this car so many times here at the Petersen and at other events in the past, but Herbie is just one of my favorite movie cars of all time, because Herbie's not just one of my number one favorite movie cars and of all time, but just something about the character that Herbie brings. So some of you already probably know the history on this car. I said in the past, or if I haven't, this is a screen used Herbie that was used from Herbie Fully Loaded for some of the stunt scenes for the NASCAR race scenes. And some of you already know, but some of you that don't know, a good friend of mine named Fireball Tim Lawrence, who designed the Batmobile for the Michael Keaton Batman 1989 film. Fireball is also the one that came out with the concept art design for the NASCAR Herbie look for Herbie Fully Loaded. And one of my other good friends that I've been friends with for a while, named Debbie Evans, drove Herbie in the film. So she's done all the stunts for Fast and Furious, The Matrix, Ted 2, all of that. And she also did all the stunts too in Herbie Fully Loaded. But it's always great to see Herbie here all the time, you know. It's the first thing I always come to at the Petersen Automotive Museum. But yeah, if you haven't been to the Petersen at all, it's definitely fun for the family and for car enthusiasts like myself, of course. But yeah, Herbie, it's always great to see Herbie here, you know, and it's just one of my favorite cars all the time. But yeah, so let's go look around more at some other cars. So now we're going to go say bye to Herbie, so bye-bye. So yeah, so now I'm back home. I just got home and decided to relax for a little bit. But it's been a long day. But before I left, I went to go get some souvenirs from the gift shop or gift store, same thing, at the Petersen. So this is actually one of the shirts I got, but this shirt I got my fiance got me last year. When the Ken Block exhibit was still there. So this is one of the Ken Block shirts, which is one of my favorite shirts because of the design, but also with the picture here when he was drifting around the lowrider, which I remember when that video came out. And also I bought 3. I got Paul Walker's Orange Supra, one of my favorites, like I was telling you, one of my dream cars there. And then the Skyline from Too Fast, Too Furious. Also another dream car. I know I say a lot that, oh, that's my dream car, or this is my dream car, but it's just because I'm a big car fanatic or a big car enthusiast, and there's so many cars I would like to have in my collection, like Jay Leno does. You know, if I had a warehouse shop, like a good sized shop of a warehouse, there would be a lot of cars I'd like to have in my collection. And then here's Paul Walker's green Mitsubishi Eclipse, which was the first car in the Fast and Furious franchise. So, and then also because a new Herbie diecast came out, and I was waiting to probably buy one off eBay and something, but my fiance said, "Hey, look," and I was lucky enough to get it, and I was happy. I got the brand new Herbie diecast from Jadar, if I pronounce it right. So this is a new Herbie diecast model that's been released by Disney, but the company that makes these model cars, Jada. So look at that. So now I could check this off my list. So I was pretty excited to get this, so now I can add this to my collection. But no, yeah, it was pretty great to be able to get a chance to see the Fast and Furious exhibit at the Petersen Automotive Museum. I said in my last video last year, when I went to the Petersen to see the Ken Block exhibit, that, you know, the Petersen is like one of the biggest car museum in the state of California. but I can't say the biggest in the U.S. because I know there's other car museums out there that are bigger in the U.S. But it's the most. I would say it's not just the biggest, but it's the biggest car museum that has the most collection of more cars than any other museum. So this museum has more cars than others, but it has other history like stars that own it, like Steve McQueen, Elvis Presley, and not just movie cars that you saw me go see, but it also has history of other cars, from concept art designs, from limited edition cars that was only made for a limited time, for 100 cars or 10 or 15 or 20. And there's history of the cars there of like cars that been through a lot of like the war, or the Depression, the American Depression, that stuff, or old race cars that are retired. But the Petersen is just a great place to go to, and like I had a great time being able to get to see all the Fast and Furious cars, and it was just something pretty great. And like being able to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Fast and Furious is just a big thing, because in a few months, I would say in 2 months from now, it will be the 21st anniversary, or not 20, why did I say that? The 25th anniversary of the Fast and the Furious, the first film. So it's not celebrating the 25th anniversary of like all the Fast and Furious films. It's celebrating the movie that started it all, which was the first Fast and Furious film that came out in 2001, and is what made car enthusiasts more and the car culture bigger, and the industry more bigger for all cars and all manufacturing and hobby guys like us. So it started all the 10 Fast and Furious films, and it made it bigger for tuners and body kits and everything. Like Fast and Furious was like the biggest thing in the 2000s when they first came out, like for car enthusiasts to have those cool 2000 upgraded like wheels, bumpers, stickers and stuff to make it look cool, but also make those cars look fast or feel fast or are fast. But it was just kind of cool to also see one of Vin Diesel's collections, because some of those cars are Vin Diesel's personal cars from his own garage, from his house. And it was kind of great to kind of see those cars from his personal collection. But what made my day was being able to see one of Paul Walker's personal cars, the white Supra from Fast and Furious 7, which was Paul Walker's daughter's car, but after he passed. So after Paul Walker passed, his collection went to her, and then she sold half of the collection at the Barrett Jackson auction. And I remember when the orange Supra sold, the white Supra, his collection of all the Skylines he had, and just being able to see her next to her father's car just made my day, because it feels like Paul Walker is still with us, and I believe he's still with us. Thank you so much, Paul Walker, for bringing so much amazing things, not just in people's life and not just in my life, but just giving the hope of all people, man. So if you're hearing this, thank you so much for being a hero and inspiring everyone, including me. And if it wasn't for Paul Walker, I would have never gotten into cars more. Because some of you already know that I got in the cars from Herbie originally, and that's what kicked off classic cars for me. But Paul Walker and the Fast and Furious film from the first film is what got me kickstarted into wanting to get into cars even more, into different cars like 90s cars, 2000 cars, and it's just something that just boosted my interest for more and more relations to different kind of cars, no matter what, if it's old, newer, mid, 60s, 90s, 2000, 50s, 60s, all that stuff. It's just something, but yeah, I just hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope you I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I hope you guys get a chance to be able to go to the Petersen and see these cars yourself at the Petersen of the Fast and Furious collections in the Fast and Furious exhibit section in the room. I don't know how long to be there. I know that sometimes they have it there for a year for each exhibit, but yeah, hopefully you guys could get a chance to go see it. definitely go to the Petersen. I just recommend it going there because it's just something you get to see something new and different once in a while, once every year and stuff, or you get to meet new people. You get to meet people that you possibly never could imagine meeting, and that could be another car buddy of yours. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, I hope you have, and and also stay tuned for my next video. I'll be at the Chili Cook-Off car show. It's next week, but it's actually this week coming up on Sunday, May 3rd. So stay tuned for that, because I will be making a post of that flyer on my channel. So that way, if you guys want to stop by and see the show, definitely come down and support the show. I'll be there with Herbie. I'll be there with the Star Car Central Club there with them. So we'll probably have Kit there, the Ghostbusters, probably the Back to the Future Time Machine there too, and probably another Herbie there. So 2 Herbies. But I hope you guys enjoy the video, and yeah, stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.